We're talking about Bitcoin Cash and the media. This is a very juicy topic, especially because media has not always been so kind from the outside to Bitcoin Cash. So on this panel, we have Kelso from Coinspice. We have Wonton from Decentralized Thought, Gray Jabesi, is that how you pronounce that? I'm so sorry if that's incorrect, from Crypto University, Linzerd from Coinspice, and Scott Cunningham from Crypto and Things. While you all hop in, I'll just kind of give a very brief overview about why this is juicy. I mean, I feel like, I wasn't even into Bitcoin Cash right at the start, because it's interesting how swayed people can get from listening to the media and listening to people's portrayal of like what something is. You know, Bitcoin Cash is a certain thing and we're all told about it. There's this unanimous opinion. And then I think that people are very ready to just digest these very superficial sound bites about a project without actually digging in. And I think that that's something that's happened to Bitcoin Cash a lot, is that people kind of miss the forest for the trees. So everyone, welcome to the show. I'm delighted to have you all here. Do you want to go through and just say your name and a little bit about your background in media, and then we'll get started? You want to start, Don?
Hey everyone, Don Wonton. Been in Bitcoin Cash for, what is it, 2 years? It's kind of running on as time goes on. Most well known for my work on YouTube. Decentralized Thought is a channel I ran for a while. Mostly talk about Bitcoin Cash, the Lightning Network, and just some of the conflict that was happening at the time, because it was a really hot topic. Right now, I spend most of my time working for Ava Labs as general manager, and so we're doing awesome stuff over there. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here and ready to talk.
Very cool. Scott, you want to give us a hello?
Sure. Hey, everyone. I'm Scott Cunningham. I am probably most well known for reviewing different social media platforms on blockchain and crypto monetized platforms. And I've been in the crypto space for about 3 years now.
Very, very cool. Linzerd. Oh, we're not getting any sound there. So perhaps I will pretend he will mime. I will repeat what he says while he figures out his sound. Kelso, do you want to introduce yourself while Linzerd gets his mic working?
For sure. I'm C. Edward Kelso, a former editor-in-chief out at Coinspice.io. I've got a new project called Crypto Fugazi, and been in Bitcoin Cash since the start, and Bitcoin a little bit before that. And super excited to be here with Naomi and everybody, and it's happy Bitcoin Cash birthday, guys and gals.
Happy Bitcoin Cash birthday. Gray, do you want to jump on and give us a holler?
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you great.
Awesome. Yeah, my name is Gray Jabesi. I'm based in South Africa and been in crypto for a number of years now. I'm an entrepreneur, trying to build a cryptocurrency ecosystem on the continent. And Bitcoin Cash is something that I think has great potential to actually address some of the problems that we have here, beyond just speculating and everything that's going on in crypto, beyond the fanboys and everything like that. So yeah, grateful to be here, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Linzerd, let's head back over to you. Let's see if we got this working here. Maybe, maybe not. No? All right. You just hop on whenever you're ready. Just unmute and then just talk all over all of us. We're going to get started on this in the meantime, and just chat about media and our own involvement. So everyone on this panel does deep dives into the crypto space. They are focused in media. They are experts in all things crypto media related. And it's this wonderfully bizarre world of toxicity and at the same time, like joyous wonderment when you manage to like convince someone or bring someone over or show them something that perhaps they hadn't realized before. And it's kind of this roller coaster ride that I've found, where it's like this love-hate kind of like fusing together in this battlefield that is the wonderful crypto world. And I just like, it does seem like an uphill battle, because not only are we debating with people outside of the crypto space and trying to say like, hey guys, this is the interesting thing, you should be aware of it, but we're debating within crypto in general. Different camps are very tribal and they fight with each other and try to drag each other down. But then within each particular cryptocurrency, there are factions as well. And there's the invite. So, you know, the media personalities kind of have to be a bridge here, and they have to be able to distill this noise and present facts to people in a way that is not so noisy, because there's just so much information and noise out there. So let's talk a little bit about the noise and some of the obstacles that we've faced so far. And I want to look mainly about going forward. You know, I just had a great panel with Anthony and we talked about messaging and how do we take it to the next level? That question of, you know, what do we need to provide? What value do we need to provide so that people come over and start trying cryptocurrency and start trying Bitcoin Cash. So Scott, did you want to start us off and just kind of talk about the future paths that you see as being most beneficial and, you know, perhaps the direction that media personalities and media outlets should be going in presenting the side of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin Cash?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very, very important to, you know, get involved in the social media aspect. And I've always believed strongly that social media is what is going to bring on mass adoption for blockchain and cryptocurrency, because, you know, that's our medium of communication today. And getting that actually involved and integrated with the blockchain and having decentralized applications that actually represent the values of things that we value in blockchain that we don't get from legacy platforms on social, like Twitter, Facebook, you know, all the legacy platforms. And as long as we, you know, keep pushing forward for that, I think people are going to realize how much better it is to be using these platforms, you know, from a point of decentralization, free speech, all these different values, as well as just being able to monetize your content and earn platform rewards.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's spot on. Don, let's give us a little taste of what you're dealing and what you think the path forward is and what you found has worked best for you.
The best path forward for talking about Bitcoin Cash in the media, it's really hard to say at this point. I was actually just talking to one of my friends the other day because we were actually exchanging some Bitcoin Cash for some gift cards, you know, because at this point with all the platforms, you know, the use as cash idea is actually kind of happened. You can almost buy anything anywhere. So I think Bitcoin Cash kind of has to go beyond that. It's already been mentioned multiple times that this, you know, the DeFi craze is really hot right now. So everyone loves talking about that. But also just Bitcoin Cash, just the idea of it being used as a platform. So I really, really am a huge fan of the postage protocol, just being able to like build on top of it and focus on using it without really necessarily bringing up Bitcoin Cash's name itself. I think that in order to go forward, you almost have to put that in the back end and then build the tools with new names and new branding as something to build on top of and then push that.
Yeah, for sure. And let's go, Gray, I want to talk about, you mentioned that Bitcoin Cash in particular was something that's solving a lot of problems in South Africa. Can you elaborate on that? And perhaps that could be a key to, you know, to how to best market it going forward.
Well, what I said was that it has the most potential because, you know, it's well integrated with a lot of services and products that people would want to buy, would want to use. And not most projects do, or most coins don't have, you know, they don't have that. And then with the low fees allows for microtransactions, which is actually exactly what happens in Africa where I am. So in terms of social media and how to craft the narrative, I don't think that's necessary at all personally, because I think the crypto community like to convince itself that it exists on Twitter, you know. That's kind of like it's a very irrelevant sort of part of the community in the real substantial way. You know, it's people that are holding coins and they're hoping to get rich. And then rich guys that are driving these communities who are making all the money, basically. But if you look on the ground, I agree with what Don said. If you look on the ground, you will see that there are companies that maybe are not as big on social media. I'll give you an example of Paxu, for example, in Africa. You know, they're not as big on social media, but their work and their volumes on the ground are incredibly huge. because they are doing things that are actually necessary. So you see that there is a limit to how far social media can take you. You can win, you can pump a coin, create for speculators, but it's not really going to drive real adoption. So I think what's more important is to focus more on what's happening on the ground. Social media will always be social media. People will share whatever they want to share, but the real work should be on the ground, and the functionality is there. So maybe I think that's where we should be focusing on right now.
No, I think that's a great point. Just building tools that are valuable for people, and it's those tools, that sell themselves. If they're valuable, people will use them, and we have seen that a lot in the crypto sphere. Just some businesses branching out and becoming great just because they're really useful. Kelso, do you want to talk a little bit about like Coinspice's angle on this? Because you guys thrive in that sort of spiciness, that sort of the debate culture, the meme culture. Like, walk me through your strategy there and the value that Coinspice provides, because it provides a lot of value to the system.
And thank you for saying that, and I agree. It's sort of poetic that on the third anniversary here, we're putting my tenure and Linzerd's tenure at Coinspice to bed. Going to do some other things, but Coinspice goes on. It's in our hearts, and it continues.
It's in everyone's hearts.
It's in everybody's.
Whether we like it or not, it's etched there irretrievably. We can never get rid of it.
And you're wearing red, so that all those. I think we coordinated. I said, Naomi, you have to wear red in honor of the spice.
That's a definite conversation that definitely occurred and wasn't made up.
But to get to the meat of your question, Coinspice sort of carved out a niche pirate ship. And we never went for the you greedy capitalists trying to make money. We were self-funded by a couple of really great guys who were passionate about Bitcoin Cash and who wanted to kind of, I guess, push the idea of Bitcoin Cash and the peer-to-peer electronic cash idea, the meme as a lifestyle. So we covered every aspect of the space, from wonky developers to influencers, and everything really in between. It's an interesting model. It's not necessarily a profitable model, in the sense that it has certain limitations, and people kind of get a sense of who you are, and then they go, okay, well, we can just discount these guys or these gals because they're this niche or they have this certain particular aspects. We already know what they're going to say before they say it, so that's a real danger. But also, as I was brought on to, this is weird to say, but I was brought on to kind of bring more of a journalistic tone to the site, and I tried to cover all the aspects of, say, a controversy. It was really interesting to watch that unfold. There's a lack of media consumption, I guess, maturity in parts of the crypto space. So
no, what you're saying that some people in crypto lack maturity? I mean, come on, really?
Well, it just, you're either a shill, which of course, we're shills in a lot of ways, at least for crypto. Like, well, I had this discussion with Nathaniel Popper of the New York Times one time, and he was like, look, I don't hold any cryptocurrency so that I could stay morally above the fray. And I was like, but you hold fiat, bro. Like, you get paid. So we're going to have the same conversation. So don't, big time me or, kind of look down at what I'm doing. On the other hand, I think it is pretty well established that crypto media is not that great. And so, and can be shilly and can be ridiculous. And when I showed the bad parts, again, I'm really dumbing this down, but when I'm showing the warts of Bitcoin Cash, so these people fighting, I got pushback from, major Coinspice backers. And they were like, what the hell are you doing?
Let's get into that. I just want to dive, before we move on to some of the other surprising stories that have come out of their experience. I want to get into that juiciness. So you talked about the inherent, like as soon as you make yourself out to be partisan, you're shoeboxed. And I think that the problem with most journalists is they try to pretend that they have no bias.
Right.
And it's impossible not to have a bias, but you guys lent into that and it seemed to work for you guys. You became very popular. Tell me about that spiciness. What did these major backers have against that strategy? I'm curious.
Wait, I'm being vague on purpose here because I don't want to.
And I'll keep pushing you to try and like figure things out. It's
you
fine.
can get me to talk. If anybody could, it's you. But I'm saying like people who came all out for us, who were pushing us, who were just like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. As soon as we critiqued their project or, sorry, let me back that up. We didn't critique it. We discussed a part of a Bitcoin Cash debate that maybe I use somebody else to put them in an unflattering light. Oh, well, Coinspice obviously is, is garbage in there for this particular, part of the debate. And then we get it from the other side. And it was really strange. I would happen to Telegram groups and I would say, hey, and I'm trying to get at the root. So how would someone looking in from the outside view X part of the Bitcoin Cash community? So I would tell them this, hey, how would someone know about X, Y? Why are you asking that question? Obviously you're here. We knew you would come and do this. These are my guys, right? This is my community. And I was like, okay, slow down. I'm asking a question as if I didn't know. So how do we explain things like the infrastructure funding plan? How do we explain what a split is? Oh, well, if you're a journalist, how come you don't know what a split? Okay. Slow down, slow.
No, it seems like you're dealing with a lot of meaty stuff there and this inherent misunderstanding of what journalism is. Journalists cannot be people's best friends. I struggle with that all the time because I just want to be like friendly and hang out with everyone. Yes. But when it comes down to it, I'm going to speak my mind about a project. I'm not going to be 100% at anyone's camp because I have my own views. It's very rare that I'll just 100% agree with what someone else says. I'm sure everyone on this panel feels the same way. And I think that is that a major struggle of most journalists in the crypto space? Because it seems so many people are getting promotions and sponsorships from particular products. And so they have to be nice to those products, or they're being sponsored on the back end by people who are sponsoring other things. So they have to say nice things. Like it's such a messy world when there's so much noise and there seems to be so much conflict of interest.
I want to hear from other people, so I'll
For sure. Well, Linzerd, I think your mic might be working now. I'll give you 3 seconds to prove yourself.
You now?
Kind of. It's very strange. Speak again.
Well, as Kelso said, Coinspice is coming down, and I was a staff writer for Coinspice, and also I wrote about...
This is okay. I might have to stop you because there's so much echo on there. I'll give you another chance, but maybe we can figure out, like, maybe turn the volume down or something there, because it's like, I don't know if it's coming through to other people. It's very loud. And, okay. I'm so sorry. Let's post in the description what you wanted to say, because we love you and we want to hear from you. So just sending you love and all that so you don't feel left out. All right. So I want to go into these juicy stories because there is conflict of interest in media. There is this behind the scenes, like, people want you to be on their board and to abide by their agenda. I get asked by companies all the time to be an advisor. I turn down all of them because I can't report on a project if I'm an advisor to that project. It seems like this inherent contradiction. And so in a way, a lot of journalists need to be self-funded so that they can have the luxury of being sort of more non-partisan. Let's go to you, Don. Give us a juicy story and something that you think will help teach other creators out there what this space needs, which I think is, in my opinion, is more integrity and principles, but perhaps you have a different side of things.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of a juicy story here real quick. Juicy.
Let's call it a spicy story, just to keep in theme here.
A spicy story. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Kelso on this one, with just going into groups and dealing with that. Just kind of that pushback of people not really wanting to share information very much. You've got a very in-group and out-group space here, just beyond anything else I've ever seen. It's almost like little cults here and there. And if you're not in the cult of this one, you're in the cult of that one, and it's very religious.
No, for sure.
So, but I'm not sure what to say on.
I
as far
can
as, like,
leave
how to
you.
cook
Think
that
about
or
it
how
like
to-
for the next thing. We can go to Scott and just think of a juicy
Yeah,
story
yeah,
in the
yeah.
meantime. Because Scott, one particular question I wanted to ask you, you specialize in product reviews. You do great reviews across the space. And a lot of people rely on your reviews because they want that sort of third party, not involved point of view. How do you manage that balance? Because I'm sure you get pitched all the time to review people's products. I'm sure that you're very polite about it and you don't really want to let people down and be like, yeah, I'll review it. Also, it's shit. You know, like, how do you walk that line?
Yeah. So what you were saying with being self-funded, I think is so key. And that's why I'm always pushing decentralized blockchain or crypto monetized social platforms where you can actually earn platform rewards so that you don't need to rely on, you know, funding or sponsorship and things like that. So that's why I'm always pushing these, because then, you know, journalists can post and earn from their followers and they don't actually even have to get donations. They can just earn from the platform themselves. So they don't have to rely on people to donate, and they can, you know, keep their integrity because they don't have to get caught up in, you know, trying to, you know, change their views or align better with a sponsor or, you know, some sort of project that they're reviewing. So I think it's just really important to focus on the education. And I think there's a big lack of, you know, tutorials, guides, all the educational stuff for, you know, almost everything in the crypto space. So that's what I've been focusing on. And I think if more people get into these platforms and they're able to earn, then they don't have to rely on any outside funding or sponsorships and stuff like that.
Give us your 3 favorite platforms.
Library, LBRY, probably the Hive ecosystem, and PublishOX.
Interesting. Very, very cool. And I know that you were instrumental for me on Read.Cash. They implemented this cool new sponsorship thing, which I thought was very cool. People can sponsor a little amount and then they get their picture on your page. So you're the one who showed me how to work that. And again, your tutorial was invaluable with that. I just went to your page. You described exactly how to do it. I think we need more of that in the ecosystem. So thank you for your work there. So Don, you want to go back? Have you got something juicy for us?
Honestly, I don't have any like recent juice. Any juice.
I don't believe you. I think you're
will be from,
covering
like,
yourself.
a couple years ago.
Do it. Yeah. Anything. Like,
Anything
I mean, so if
juicy?
we're not going juicy, let's talk about like a major lesson, something that's shocking to you that you discovered through your journey in media, that like surprised you that others could learn from.
I'd say like the most interesting lesson I ever had was whenever it was right around the time of the split, whenever I had that live stream and Craig Wright jumped on, and then we had it out for, you know, a good 15 minutes or so.
Was that the watch?
And, yeah, where he was like flashing his watches and talking about stringing up, you know, Roger Ver and Jihan up.
Sounds sane.
It was interesting, definitely a lesson. But the strange thing about that, and the thing I'll never forget, is afterwards, you know, once the cameras went off, there was about 15 minutes where I stood back there with Craig Wright and we were just talking back and forth, and everything was calmed down. And it was so obvious that he was playing kind of a role, a part, you know, doing kind of a presentation in this. And I think you have to keep in mind, whenever you're doing anything media related, that everyone in this space is kind of playing a part. You know, it's like on Twitter, on camera, everyone's like playing this role in this space. And I was talking a little bit earlier about how it's kind of, you know, very, very cult-like, but
That's a great
story. But
Yeah. So I'm just reading the chat now. Linzerd also has a sort of side. I'm going to speak on your behalf because your mic's being a little funny there. So you just said that as a Coinspice journalist, you had to face a lot of hardships through exactly what we're talking about, being self-funded, which gives you freedom, but there's a trade-off there. There's a limit to how far you can reach. There's a limit to your output, how much, you know, you don't have funds for marketing, so it can get very difficult to reach beyond and reach out far. And you also said that that's what brings you down in some sense. You know, there needs to be this balance between sponsored content and executing journalism responsibly. So thank you for that point. And great, let's go to you and talk about your work specifically. And let's talk about South Africa and what you're talking about with fees, because I think this is a huge issue that differentiates coins. It's whether or not there are giant fees and it's usable in everyday life, but a lot of people seem to brush over this. Now, is this central to like the crypto culture in South Africa? I'm very, disconnected from it there, but you have your ear to the ground there. So is that like a big issue that is a primary concern for people?
Yeah, so I operate in a few places in Africa, especially on the East African side. So yes, of course, fees is a big deal because I own a small exchange, and when the fees are too high, it's definitely a problem. So if I'm selling more BTC, for example, there are times that I have to lose money just to make a transaction because I don't want to say no to a customer, right? So fees is a big deal. And then when those people buy, say BTC or whatever, Ethereum, for example, the problem that they understand quickly is that, okay, I have this, but to send it, if I have $5 or $10, it means I have to spend $2 just to send it, then it doesn't make sense anymore, right? So, and then the problems, that's when people actually start paying attention to the fees. But the most important thing is whether the service that they want accept Bitcoin. And then, they eventually think about fees and stuff like that. So if anything, I think the most important thing is actually to work with the entrepreneurial community. I mean, in Africa, pretty much, I think in South America as well, because those are the guys offering services. They're always looking for new ways to sort of make things faster, cut down on sort of irrelevant paperwork and red tape and stuff like that. If we can get those guys and get them to understand what Bitcoin is and why they should use Bitcoin Cash, then I think we can see a natural progression and kind of a very organic growth, so to speak.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. We are running out of time here, so I want to go back to last words for everyone. It's a lot of people on a panel for such a short amount of time. And I also want to mention, I'm looking at my background, and I forgot to put up, I have this gorgeous Bitcoin Cash, like Black Swan from Crypto Art. And it's just like, check out their stuff. It's really cool. They have like a QR code built into the art. If you haven't checked out the stuff they do, I'm not affiliated with them or sponsored. I just think it's really nice, and I wish I could have shown it to you guys. But let's start off. Do you want to start us off, Kelso? Just give us final words of moving forward, what you'd like to see more of, because you guys are all thought leaders in the media space in crypto. So what would you like to see more of from other content creators as they're talking about the crypto space and Bitcoin Cash in particular?
I love the point that Scott made, and I wish I'd made it. More decentralized platforms, more ways to eliminate the middleman, middle person, and support journalism and all that good stuff. Going forward, that's going to happen. And to be honest with you, the best journalism out there are not people with journalism degrees or people that call themselves journalists. The best journalists out there are Redditors, are Telegrammers, are people out there, Twitter, constantly, the advocates, the proselytizers, and then you as a consumer balance it against the other ones, and somewhere in there is the truth. But as long as there are decentralized platforms, ways for people to speak, I think that's the most important thing. But anyway, I just thank you to George Donnelly, Bitcoin ABC, BitcoinCash.org for hosting a really wonderful live stream. Thanks again, Naomi, and everybody on the panel. Really appreciate it. Done with Coinspice, but not done with crypto nor Bitcoin Cash. So you can catch me at Crypto Kelso on Twitter or at Coin Fugazi. Thanks again, guys, and happy BCH Day.
Absolutely. And Kelso, make sure you create a coin tree link as well, just a personal plug there. Then everyone knows where to find you. So set one of those up. Don, let's head to you. Just some final parting words. What do you want to see more of?
What I'd like to see more of is just more organization in the community. Over time, I think the Bitcoin Cash community really needs to set their principles, because we're kind of well known in the crypto communities as kind of floating from like one thing to the other. So just people coming together, communicating more, especially the thought leaders, and like Kelso said, that the people on Twitter, the people on Reddit, 4chan, all those platforms, are incredibly important in the information that they spread. Just really push for experimentation. I mean, the thing I love about Bitcoin Cash, and the thing that I think most people love about Bitcoin Cash whenever you're dealing with which Bitcoin fork, is just the amount of experimentation and new ideas. And there's just so much of that good info available, and it just needs to be spread, and it's not that hard to do.
For sure. We're running out of time. Scott, some quick final words. What would you like to see?
I'd just like to see more people getting on these new platforms and just getting more involved in this space. It's a lot easier than you might think, and you don't always have to have much blockchain knowledge or be very crypto savvy to use these platforms. So definitely want to see more people get on, and thanks for having me here. And yeah.
Absolutely. Gray, final words from you. What would you like to see more of?
Well, I just have a question, maybe, if anything. Why do you guys think, I mean, if miners are incentivized well enough to continue mining, that's systematically well designed to be like that, and you have interest from the development community, people want to build stuff, why is Twitter and Reddit that important to the Bitcoin Cash community?
That's a great question. I think that we've run out of time to talk about it here, but maybe we can continue the discussion in the Telegram groups, and maybe on some of the articles of the wonderful content creators here, we can continue that, because I think that's a good question, and maybe it shouldn't be. It's kind of an incestuous, toxic place a lot of the time. Also fun, which is why I stay there. Linzerd, I'm going to speak on your behalf. That was really fun, Naomi, and I'm sad to leave Coinspice. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. We ran out of time, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to hand over to the amazing Jeffrey Tucker. I am so happy. I'm just going to stay on for like 2 seconds longer than I should, because I just want to say hi. Jeffrey, where are you?
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Gray, Scott, Lynn, Kelso, Don. Thanks, Naomi. You should definitely stay on as long as you want, Naomi. I
just want to say hi to Jeffrey, but he's not here. All right, well, while we're waiting for Jeffrey to hop on, you guys on the panelists, if you could make sure that in the stream you've posted where people can find your work. I personally put all my links on Cointree. You could just find me on that link, but check out all the content creators and all of their stuff, because they're doing amazing work. They're spreading the word of what the amazing creators in the space are doing. Jeffrey Tucker.
There he is.
Hi, I'm handing over to you, but I just wanted to say hi. I can't hear you.
How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You sound delightful.
It's nice to be here. So, yeah, Naomi, nice to see you.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Are you in Northern California? Is that what the problem is?
I'm not in Northern California. I'm in an undisclosed location that is not Northern California, and I'm delighted to no longer be in California.
Really? So you're in an undisclosed location?
Yeah, I'm in my secret bunker.
That sounds
waiting
like
until the world becomes sane and they finally close the Fed and give us free money. Let me know when that happens, guys.
That sounds like St. Kitts. So maybe I'll be joining you soon. Who knows?
Let's do it. All right. See you, Jeffrey.
Nice to see you.
Bye-bye. See you, everyone.
Thank you, Naomi.